Okay, welcome to the seventh episode of MOCT Live with Dr. Hashan Travis Haputantri with another brilliant personality who has arrived and she's waiting out there in the studios. You can hear the music, you know that we are right now on, and it's going to be a fantastic evening because we have a dynamic personality who's about to talk with regards to her experience and her ultimate goals in life and the message to the entire world. So, this MOCD Live Talk, the Future Talk, is now streaming live via Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube. And Restream crew out there helping me to connect you across the globe and across Sri Lanka. We have today um, a very young personality, a very dynamic personality. Name, of course, Nimethri Gunasekara. She's known to the world. She's known to many of her friends as a very active personality, having a career in banking, and she has lot to talk about. I'm not going to talk about much with regards to her qualifications because we have an entire show that we can talk about and we can ask loads of questions. So you can ask any questions from her. The chat box is open, and she also can see the show, and she can see the chat that is coming in. So you can chat with her. You can ask questions. You can wish her. You can do anything. But we are going to talk about all positive stuff, positive news with regards to this personality. So MOCT Live Talk with me is not a gossip entity. It's about her and her achievements as well as the positive news that we can give it to the world. So, without waiting, without keeping her just waiting over there, let's invite Nimethri Gunasekara. How are you? How are you, Nimethri? How are you
Yes,
doing?
Dr. Hashan, I'm doing good.
All
I'm
good?
doing good. What about you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm fine. Thank you. And it's the energy. You can feel the energy that she brings to the show. Anyone who's joining now, you can stand by to get loads of information, loads of advices from this young legend, Nimethri Gunasekara. Well, my connection to her actually came from nowhere, and I asked her whether she can do a little bit of mental training as well as physical training for my little kids who's been trained under me at CCC School of Cricket. And she kept on going for 1 hour, and she was not tired, and she did a wonderful job. So thank you very much, Nimethri. I have to wish you on air openly. You did a wonderful job. So in one line, Nimethri, who are you?
So I'm Nimethri Gunasekara. If I describe myself in one line, so like you said, I believe I'm a big personality. I'm a dancer.
Okay. Okay, so you are a dynamic person, you're a dynamic personality, right? And Nimethri, what is your biggest strength? Let's get right to the dot. What is your biggest strength so far?
Yes. Big strength. So it's I believe in myself. What happened? I in myself that if I'm going to do something, so I believe that it is going to happen in this way. So the belief is my biggest strength because no matter what, I believe in myself.
Oh, right. Okay. This is
Yeah.
if I deviate from the topic, this is a very rare thing a young person can do. We see A lot of youngsters these days lose self confidence and they select to leave the world. I don't want to use that word, but they
Yes.
select to move away from the world, right? And then it's a pain for the family, it's pain for everyone. But you're saying, believe yourself and move on. How do you do this?
So, if I talk about myself, so from the grade three, I started doing sports at school. So I learned it from there, from the school. I went to Nungegodanula Vidyalaya. So from there, I
Okay.
learned to believe myself. So even if we lose a match, we believe in ourselves. Okay, that's okay. We are going to do better next time. So I think from there I got it. And even my dad is a sports personality. So even from him,
Oh,
I'm getting this
okay.
positive advices. So yeah, so I think from there I'm getting this. I keep believing.
Okay. Let me come to another point. This has been watched by the young cricketers, the young sportsmen, and especially um, kids at my daughter's age. 12 years, 13 years, who was about to step into teens. Now, this where is this self confidence coming from, Nimethri? I mean, you said that you were doing sports at
Yeah,
school, and your dad is a sportsman as well. So tell us about
yeah,
your school background. I need to pinpoint something. I need to find out something from you.
yeah.
This self confidence,
So
where it is coming from.
yeah,
So yeah, please go ahead.
yeah. So actually, from grade, I said I was an athlete, and then I started playing badminton, netball, basketball. I did almost all the sports in my school. So and I became the deputy
Okay.
games captain of the school as well. So and I'm coming with
Okay.
a sports background family. My dad used to play
Okay.
cricket for NCC and even CCC club back
Oh, hold
then.
on. What's his
So
name? What's his name?
the Gunasekara. So long
Aminda
time back
Gunase.
now,
What's the school? What's his school?
Wesley College.
Oh, okay. She probably knows me.
All right.
My surname might ring a bell because one Wesleyite who actually hit my tooth. And
Okay.
hopefully he's not there in that squad. Okay. Anyway, continue. Okay, so he's from
So yeah,
sports background. Okay.
so even when I was in grade three, like I said, so I started with the sports until I finished my school. So with that, I learned a lot of self confidence. Like you need a lot of self confidence to do sports, especially as a girl. um, so that's how I started this. I think that's how this self confidence began. So I was never a person who's shy to talk to people or come up with my own suggestions and stuff when I was schooling. So I
Okay.
think I got it from sports, the sports discipline and all the practices and everything. You gain a lot of self confidence over those stuff. So yeah, more than the studying, I think people as a human being, you can gain a lot of stuff from sports, more than studying, more than sitting and learning. You learn about life from sports. You learn about how to face people from sports. You learn about a lot of stuff, discipline and everything from sports, more than getting uh, different achievements on studies. So yeah, that's how I got it.
So you mean to say that okay, someone can ask from you, do I have to do sports to get self confidence? Okay. Well, I'm not that sports oriented personality. So how I'm going to develop that skill of having self confidence? That's one question. Number two,
Okay.
okay, I had self confidence, but I kind of fluctuates. It comes and it goes. I think, okay, I do well, and I'm not doing well. I do well, I'm not doing well. Well, my first question is, do I have to do sports to get self confidence?
uh, it's not that way. It's not mandatory to do sports, but the people who this self confidence naturally. But if you are not sports oriented, if you don't want to do sports, that's totally fine. You can gain self confidence in other ways, by maybe if you're schooling, you can join some extra activities like in societies, maybe
Right.
different, it doesn't have to be sports, but something more than, something other than studying. Just studying is not gonna, help us in the future when it's come to life. Not only studying, you need to have some extracurricular activities you need to do. It's mandatory.
All
That's what I believe.
right. Okay. Okay, that's the point. Guys, listen. People, listen to her. She has two points that she's very clear of what she's talking about. A is that better if you can be a sportsman or can select a sport. It can be table tennis. It can be carom. It can be chess. But when you have that thing in you that you need to compete, you need to compete with someone fearlessly, self confidence comes automatically. That's number one. Number two, she's clearly said, get in. If you're not a sports fanatic or sports friendly person, get into a club or a school activity where it can help you to grow that self confidence in you, and then you help you to compete with others without a problem. So not being a backbencher, but being a front bencher and compete with people to get that self confidence. Okay, my second question is, Nimethri, people fluctuate. They have self confidence, they don't have self confidence, especially kids at the age of 10, 11, 12, with the hormone change, especially in a girl's, you know, biological structure.
Puberty, yeah.
Puberty, yeah. They tend to change. Sometimes they tend to be very aggressive and at a time, and then again they come back and they think a lot. So there are a lot of changes happening in your body. What is, why this self-confidence fluctuate?
Yeah, so especially in Sri Lanka, we don't talk about, say, sexual education. We don't teach it properly in Sri Lanka. We don't get that
Right.
education. So with that,
Okay.
the student, I mean, the children's getting confused. What is happening to me? Why this is happening?
Absolutely.
Why my breast is getting bigger? Like,
Absolutely.
these things, they
Yes.
are, it's a problem for them because they don't know why it's happening. So if they knew this is a normal thing, this is the age that these things are happening, so then it's it's a normal thing, so they know how to react for that. So when they don't know, so they try to hide things, they try to hide themselves, they try not to, not to go out, they try to question about themselves. They are scared to ask from the outside as well. With the background of Sri Lanka, with the culture and all, they are not talking open. They keep it. You break this, all the break things are happening for the self confidence. So, but if we know about that, if we can teach our children about these stuff, this is normal, this is how you need to do, this is how you need to do this
Okay.
and all. If you can educate, then we can build up the self confidence as well.
So be natural about it. Be natural about
Yes,
it as much as you can. This is happening to even for a guy, even for a boy. It's a very hidden factor, your
yes,
body changes. Just keep it to yourself and all that. So that limits a guy or a girl of coming out
yes.
with herself. That's another factor. Yes, good point. And also, fluctuation of self confidence. How do you see it?
So it's like this. So we need to accept ourselves. So if you can accept, if say now say think you are getting only 45 marks or 50 points for your maths or your some school test. So what happens is our people are talking about, here you have only 50, you have only 50, look at yourself. We are putting our people, the kids down. A lot of parents are doing that. But if you can reframe it, uh, okay, it's okay 50 this time, so you have another 50 opportunity to learn. 100, there's another 50, so you have 50 opportunities. But for the person who got 90 marks, has only 10 opportunities to learn. But from this test you earn 50 opportunities. Likewise, if you can reframe it,
Brilliant.
people can, you know, our students and all the kids can, the self confidence about it, they will worry about it. So that's what I see.
Oh, wow. Wow, this is amazing stuff. Now I'm going to ask the crucial question from you.
Okay.
Who are you? What is your profession?
All right, so complicated question actually, because because I'm a banker. I work in an international bank, and the same time I'm doing psychological counseling, and also I teach mathematics for UK primary students as well. Profession wise, since I'm working in a bank, I say I'm a banker, but I would like to introduce myself as a, I'm a future psychologist. So as a psychological guidance person, the career guided person, anyway, the counselor. So I would like to introduce myself in that way. And also, yeah, we'll talk about it in the future.
Oh wow! So see, people, this is why MOCT is so special because we have people jack of all trade, and they have mastered it also. Those all trades, There's a saying called "You're jack of all trade, master of none." But here, I'm proving to you that yes, there are jack of all trades, and they have completely mastered uh, what they are currently doing in most of the areas. You can be a banker, you can be a psychologist, you can be a maths teacher, you can be a motivator, and there's another hidden side. She is a physical trainer, and she is a nature lover. She likes to travel. So there is a lot in a personality, in this personality. So, people, this is a brilliant. This video will be there forever unless I delete it. But I'm going to keep it. Show this to your child and don't motivate he or she for one angle. If you are a debater, be a debater. If you are an educator, be an educator. So education is not the only thing in one's life. Look at Nimethri Gunasekara, a person with a vivid personality and with all sorts of talents, and she's enjoying it. Are you enjoying it?
Of course, yes, I enjoy everything. So, yeah.
That's the thing. And mind you, parents, if you're watching this, you don't have to stick to one particular avenue. If you have loads of avenues to walk through, if one door closes, another door opens, and she's talented. She's so talented. So it's a gift. These talents are gifts from the nature. So parents, this is a classic example of jack of all trade and mastered also all the trades. So Nimitri, see, now you confused me totally because I don't know to call you a banker or whether to call you a psychologist or whether why you select when you have so much of stuff, you show so much of talents with you. Why a bank?
Well, it's a long story. So, I actually want to become a pilot, to be honest, when I was schooling.
Oh,
But my
okay.
height was a problem for that. I'm 5 feet, so that was a problem. So then my dad was like, "What do you want to do? What do you like to do?" I did maths for A level just to become a pilot, but I couldn't. So then my dad was like, "Okay, what do you like to do?" Then I was like, "Since I did maths, I'll do civil engineering." And then I started my civil engineering career. But then halfway through, I felt like this is not what I want, because I have to go out and all the buildings and everything. So then after that, my friends applied for this international bank. So just
Oh,
I also applied because I had my lectures only on weekends. So since I
okay.
was free on weekdays, I applied for this and I got the job. And then
Oh,
I got comfortable with that lifestyle and everything. It's just 8 to 5. I'm getting paid and I don't have to go out every day in that, sunny rush and like everything. So, and
mm-hmm,
then the plus point was I can do sports. So I
mm-hmm,
can be
mm-hmm.
myself. So there I found it very comfortable. So I can play badminton, I can do athletic, I can play netball again for mercantiles. So mercantile tournaments are there.
There she goes.
So
There she goes.
then
Now she's connecting
that
it. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Keep going.
so
Keep going.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
I became
Yeah.
a so yeah, and then the psychological so in life run different stages, right? Like tough times, hard times, different. So even I also went through some hard times in like everyone else. So then I decided, okay, I want to help people. I want to be a person who listen to people when they are going through different stages of life. There I can help everybody in a way. So that's how I'm getting into psychological side. Uh, Teaching, of course,
Wow.
I'm doing it because I
Okay.
like to teach. So and I'm a baker too. I have my own
Oh, okay.
cake. So yeah,
Okay.
I do baking. That is a I'm a baker by
So,
the passion. Yeah,
right. So the husband to be is lucky because he doesn't have to do anything. When he wants a cook, he has a cook. When he wants a mathematician, there's a mathematician. If he wants a banker, there's a banker. Right? When he has a stress issue problem in his mind, there's what do you call a
psychology.
counselor
Yeah,
in front of
counselor. Yeah.
psychology. Yeah. And when she wants to go for a run, well, there's an athlete, right? And what not that you haven't done so far.
Yeah, so even at school, if I talk about it, I never came home as in like maybe 1 or 2 times came home after 1:30. If not, I come home every day after 7, 8 because I have practices or I have some, club work or something is there every day. So that was the life. So I think everything made me into this person. I became
Oh,
this person because of those stuff only.
brilliant. So we have an iconic personality. Parents, children, adults. This is a classic example of never give up and you become multi-talented. And Nimethri, you said you're working for an international bank and working for a bank and managing all these extracurricular activities, or I don't want to call that name, working in a bank and managing, let me put it in a more professional way, working in a bank and managing these vital self developing avenues. How do you manage all these? Do you? The next question is, if I ask from someone, I'm very sorry, I didn't have time to look at it, but you have so much of stuff going on, and how do you manage this?
When what I believe is if someone wants to do something, they would do it. That's the simple answer. I because if someone wants to do, they can find a way. They can find something a way to do it. But that
Okay.
need needs to be there. So for me, I have the need for everything that I do. So if I want to
Okay.
go for if I want to travel, I have that need. I make plans for it. I make so we are waiting for the long weekend or something. Somehow we make it happen because we have the need. So what I believe is the people who are giving excuses is actually not they they haven't tried. Maybe they tried 1 or 2 if you want to do something. So that's how I'm managing. So being a banker, it's not very easy to manage. to be honest, because it's 8 to 5 job, and then we have little time in the evening. When I have the need, I know how to plan the day and get it done accordingly. So I hope if someone really want to do something, they would make a way to do it. They would have way, some sort of a way. So yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. I also believe that. I mean, having all this busy schedule with me, and of course, I'm here live, doing a live show with a personality like you. So, if you have the need, if you have that courage, if you have that thing that in you that you want to do this and see it, and you will do it, and then you will continue to do it. Okay, Dimitri, who's your role model?
Oh, my role model is Princess Diana.
Oh, wow. Okay. Why Princess Diana?
Because actually the way she influence people, and how she used her and how she all the royal the barriers and everything, she made an impact. And also whenever like royals are not touching people without gloves, but she broke it into that, you know at that stage. So I really admire her. So I don't have a popular mind to make an impact to the society the way I can, in good way. So Diana is like Princess Diana is my, I don't know, favorite and the role model and everything kinda. So that's why I like her so much.
Okay. All right. Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Someone is texting me to ask this from you. Is a
Okay.
parent that's texting me.
Okay.
He's asking, what is the best way to motivate a child who is kind of backward?
Okay. So to motivate a child is you actually need to talk openly with the child. That is also not happening in Sri Lanka. You can
Okay.
go to your child and talk directly. Here, you can do this. This is how life is. Sometimes we fail, but we need to get up and do it. And you can give your examples as well. Back then, at my age, this is how it happens. And this is how it happens, but I went through this, but I got up. I did this. So, by doing this, by talking openly to your kid, actually, they get this self confidence. That's how I got it from my father. So whenever he's trying to drop me to school on that drive, he's talking about his experience. He's giving advices. So that part, it goes hard. Actually, it goes to heart, and that's how you become this, a person who never give up. So you can do it to your child to make them confident and all. So talk to them directly, talk to them, go and talk. That's totally fine, but it's not happening here in Sri Lanka actually, that dad to son talk, mom to daughter talk is not happening in that way. But if you can have that talk, there you go, you can do a huge impact to the children's life, your child life. You can do it in that way.
Right. If a kid think, okay, he's been advising me, and advising me every time in that journey from home to school, and school to home, or when we're having a cup of tea, these guys keep on advising me. If a kid thinks, Nimetri, why are you advising me? Why are you giving these loads of advice? I have heard about this before.
Yeah,
If that situation occurs, what happens?
it's not advising. Like I said, it needs to be a talk. It's just a talk. So maybe you can ask how you are doing today, how was the school, okay, and all. And if from there, from that small chat, you can talk. Not advising is different. If you go to advice, it's gonna be a very, it's
Boring.
not boring. And the person
Yeah.
will get pressurized, the child would get pressurized. So not that, but you can have a normal random chat. Hi, how are you doing? How was the day? So how is your friend? So how is your sports, how is cricket happening these days? Okay, I heard this is happening, so what about you? And all, you can, have a normal chat, not like advising. Advising is not gonna work, especially with our culture. It's too much for kids. But if you can have a random chat and make them realize that you are there for them every time, even if they fail, you are there, then the confidence level and everything is going to be normal in the kid.
Okay, so parents, this is something that you need to keep it in your mind because we tend to advise kids, hey, do this, do that. This is what happened to me. I rather than having a chat, parents, you need to change this attitude because I'm also believing in a conversation. If my daughter don't want to have a conversation with me, meaning she's in a kind of a tense situation. So I have to use those tactics to get that tension out from her mind by having a dialogue, right? And that's exactly what she's advising. And this is amazing stuff. People, you're connected to MOCT Live with Dr. Hashan Travis Hapatantri, and that's me. And look, I'm also getting into a mood where uh, whatever she is comes from her is plain truth. And adults, as we as adults, we need to hear this out and we need to practice this because it's our future. Because look at her, a girl with many talents, managing her life properly. So far, it has given her results because A is the discipline that she has, number two is the guts and that inner self confidence that she's bringing up, and also she has a YouTube channel, right? And I tend to listen to her early in the morning because it's freshened me up. Nimethri, I'm a fan of yours, and I have subscribed to your channel. I say it openly because even from a junior, we need to learn. The learning never stops. I'm not considering you as a junior, right? But even from a kid, even from my daughter, if I have to learn, I have to learn because there's a lot that life needs to teach us until the minute that we release the final breath. Okay, you have a YouTube channel that's been that's those videos are awesome, and I tend to download it and show it to kids. Before you took up that exercise drill, they saw you because I used to ran those for them, right? Um, what is that YouTube channel?
Yeah, that is Every Mind Matters. So it's about mental health and how to stay positive and how to face day to day challenges. So that's about the YouTube channel. So Every Mind Matters. That's the
Okay,
name
okay,
of it. It's a new channel actually. Yeah.
okay. All right. Talking about mental health, are you satisfied the current generation's attitudes, the current generations, the way they are going? Are you happy?
Not really, to be honest, because nowadays our kids can't take a pressure. It's they recently also we had a lot of situation where kids are going for the suicide. They decide to take their
Correct.
life.
Yep.
So
Correct.
if you so that happens actually due to different reasons. But parenting does parenting a huge part of it. It
Right.
doesn't mean from the day your child born. That is wrong. Parenting starts from the day your child comes to your tummy actually. That's the day the parenting starts. The way you talk, what you eat, how you behave, everything is parenting. So these this way, because the child development happens from the day they come to our tummy, and from that day onwards the parenting should happen in a proper way. So this parenting plays a huge role in a children's life, these life. So if they are taking the life, if they can't take the pressure, and that means there's something wrong with the parenting, to be honest. That's the
Right.
saddest truth.
Oh,
But there's a huge role, even though our parents, they don't know that they are doing a huge role. So but when it's come to the kid, huge part of it,
Right.
they need to play the proper role. Then only these kids can go to, what they want, and they can do everything. But if they're taking their life up, if they do suicide, especially these days we had like few situations, not only one or two, more than that. So that means it's, say, they have only one way. If you can't study, if you are failing, you you are nothing. That's how some people, treat students, treat their children. But if you can say, okay, that's okay, just studies is one side, you have sports, you have other thing, maybe you can do, if you like to go and paint, that is totally fine, do it. So suicide is how parents are directing your child only to one way, because they don't know what is happiness, especially with, they have only one thing for to feel happy. When that thing is not there, they go and take their life. Say even video games, our students, the children, they think that is happiness. They don't know how to go out. I admire sun, I admire trees, like that is happiness for me. I can make everything to my happiness, but these kids can't. Now this generation, they are so into these video games and everything. So if that is not there, happiness is not there for them. They don't feel happy. So that is where take their lives and all the suicide things are happening. So as a parent, you can change it. As a parent, what you can do is teach different areas. It doesn't have to be studies, it doesn't have to be sports. Sometimes maybe if someone is liking to do, if they like to do maybe baking, that person like to bake, okay, let them do it. So they earn happiness from that. So they have one side, if they lose the other side. So parents have a huge role to play when it's come to this, so to grow it.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, well, I'm really happy that I invited you to for this discussion, because there's parents are watching this, kids are watching it. I know a family that's been plugged this into the television, and they are watching this in widescreen. So these advices goes to them, but parents don't keep this as an advice only, because this is not an advice. This is basically a fact finding for you to regroup your family, because the teen suicide, or suicide due to gaming is on the rise. We just got the recent one where a kid got frustrated, and he committed suicide just a couple of days ago. For me, Nimethri, okay, during when I was at your age, the country was different. From 83 to 2009, we had 30 years long war. We were restricted to most of the time to the Western province, and there was fear in us. But we came through that. We managed to move ahead, and there's all sorts of factors, very depressive moments, bomb blasts and suicide bombing and all that. But we never got depressed. We were asked to march forward and to make the life better. And most of my achievements were done during the wartime, and even inside the school. But I see a complete contrast. When I was 12, when I was 15, and when you were 12, when you were 15, and to a person who's now at the age of 12 or 15, I see a complete contrast, right? I'm pretty sure your era there was no suicides, right?
Yeah.
My era, very less. There was nothing, right? If I hear a suicide, that's going to be a big news for the year. But now it's happening every now and then. Suicides, Nimetri. If you're going to put a full stop to this, suicide, how to prevent suicide? Please tell us.
Yes, so suicide prevention is actually you need to communicate, you need to talk to people. So our people with the situation, they are not, they can't talk to someone. And especially we
Okay.
don't talk about mental health. So the best way
Yeah.
to prevent suicide is to break the stigma. So we need to break the stigma surrounding these mental illnesses. If I'm going through depression, I need to be able to go and talk to someone, at least for a counselor or psychiatrist or someone you trust. You need to go and tell it. So if you can't do it, what happens is everything piled up in our mind, and the last decision is to take your life, to committed suicide. It's happened, it is like, it's normal when you have a lot and lot, and if you keep taking without giving anything, you, if you collect all the negative stuff, the it leads to a suicide. So if you are not putting out at least a little bit, so these stuff with the chemical reaction in the brain, so you can go to the suicide, you will commit the suicide, you will commit. So to stop it, what we need to do as a society, what I believe is we need to talk about mental health more. We need to break the stigma surrounding mental illnesses. So then the people will know the help is available. They can get the help, the right help that they want. So the more we spread the awareness, the less suicide cases will come in the future. So that's what I believe to prevent the suicide.
Okay. I mean, if you are addressing the youth right now, if you are addressing the youth right now, okay, how will you address them with regards to what are you going to tell them? Teens
The
and
youth,
youth.
yeah. So what I need to tell is, so life we are facing in different stages. When it come to life, we will face in different stages. If you fail, that's not the only way. There's another door. Not only one door for us. It's like a circle. We have like lot of doors. If one door is shutting for you, that's okay, let it go, accept it, and go and try on another door. Maybe that is your door, something. So but if one thing, if you fail on one thing, if you couldn't pass one thing, that doesn't mean you're a failure. That means
Sure.
when it's come to that, you are not that much good in that, but that's okay. We have other ways, we have different ways. So it doesn't mean you're a failure. So don't take it as a failure, I'm a failure and I can't do this and all. So take it as a positive way, like I said before, reframe it. Okay, I couldn't do it. I will learn it next time and going to do it in a better way.
Right.
Or else maybe this is not my thing. I will try on another thing. That's how you reframe in the positive way.
Um, how do you see our youth? How they faring?
Uh, well, now the youth is everyone like more into digital stuff. So,
Okay, exactly.
can,
That's the point.
yeah,
Okay.
and not admire nature. But what I want to tell is, go and admire the nature. These all the pandemics and everything happens because we are getting engaged. If we can engage with nature and live like we used to be back then, we never heard about corona when our grandfather was there, right? At that era, no corona, nothing. But now everything happens because we are not, we don't love nature actually. If we can connect ourselves with nature, if you can go out and admire the sunrise, if you can go out and just look at the sky and then get this feeling, oh, it's gonna be a good day, or maybe just go out, look at a tree, and if you can just breathe in, oh, this is good oxygen, you know, that is happiness. You can make it as a happiness. But our youth is into phones and, gaming and digital stuff, only digital stuff. Other than that, there's no world for them. But if they can go and admire the nature, I think it will be the best thing that they can do, and they will learn a lot from nature, and it will make them strong. because there's another world. They are just staying with all the digital stuff, all these devices and stuff. But I don't know whether now the kids are going out of this house to admire
No,
the nature.
correct.
From morning to night, they are in front of a screen, they are learning, but they don't have time to get engaged with nature. But that's the best thing you can do as a teenage, or I mean as a human. That's the best thing you need to do, you can do.
Dimitri, where is the global youth is heading?
Like I said, it's it's about digitalization and
Okay.
finding shortcuts.
Yeah.
It's about
Okay.
digital. So
Making it quick.
yeah.
A quick the generation Z, the Z gen, is heading towards digitalized world, and they are living in digitalized compartments, and they never had the chance of, okay, you go to the beach and watch the sunset, or go around 5:30 or 5:15 in the morning towards the paddy field where you can see the sunrise, where you
Yeah.
can see the you can hear the noise of chatting of the birds. But they wake up straight to the 4-inch by 4-inch frame, and that's where they learn the entire world, what is happening. So it's kind of good because people are digitalized, but there is,
Yeah.
of course, a concern behind it. Okay, you think that the pandemic will end?
I don't think the pandemic will end. So we will get, we will live in the new normal way. So this is the new normal. Pandemic will never end. That's what I think. Pandemic will be there forever, but we will start to live with the new normal way. So that's what I feel.
Okay, as a budding youth, there's a lot to be done outside, Nimethri, for you. With this global situation, it kind of got limited to one particular room, that is probably your house.
Yeah.
Don't you feel? How do you feel about it? I know you have won the hemisphere. You have gone up above the horizon. Tell us how you won this whole thing.
Yeah. So with the pandemic, we can't go here and there. So, but there are ways that if you can go also, if you really want to, like I said. But if you want to get engaged with the nature and to do stuff without staying inside the room, you can go to the garden, maybe, at least. That will give you a different feeling. Actually, me and my two sisters did that. We put up a tent outside in the garden and we made a bonfire and then a night there, sort of, because we are so into traveling, and we want that.
Oh,
So
okay.
people can do it. It's just there are different ways. So we are not thinking about it.
Absolutely. 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 Well, times have changed is another challenge where the Mother Nature takes a rest. She was alarming us and alarming us, but we never listened. She sent a tsunami, never listened, never learned. And suddenly, someone from nowhere, there is this disease. And the Mother Nature said, stay indoors. I'm
Yeah.
tired of you, right? And still, people basically, they don't feel this happening around you. And also, yeah, and change the whole thing. Be with the family, play the guitar outside, have a bonfire outside. That's wonderful. Who cares what others think? It's that I'm happy of what I'm doing, right? And I'm engaging with the nature, and it's a remarkable achievement because you never get the chance to lit a bonfire there in your
Yeah.
very close to your home or in your garden. That's a remarkable thing. What we did, we went out and we started singing in the garden. And there was one day that we switch off all the lights in the house, and we lit lamps and we started singing in that atmosphere. And we never got these chances. And even though we had that in our mind, we never had the time to practice it. So look at people, look at positively. Positive positivity is the key to life, and you can stay young, right? If you are in stress, you will get old very soon, because you won't take care of yourself, you won't keep yourself happy. Am I right, Nimethri?
Yeah, true, true. Yes, if you can
Yeah,
stay happy, that means you can stay young forever, kind of thing. So it's,
absolutely.
yeah.
This, the spirit matters, the thought matters, right? My next direct question is, what is the way to happiness?
Well, way to happiness is depends to person, but like I said before, for you to stay happy, it takes a lot of encouragement actually, because we always, our mind is kind of, it goes towards the negative side, it focusing on the negative side. But if you can reframe it, like I said, into the positive way, if you can keep practicing it, then there you go, you can be happy. So easy way to stay positive is, like, I believe is accept things as it is. If you can accept yourself first, you know what to do. You know what are your weaknesses, you know what your strengths are.
Absolutely.
So then you can be
Absolutely.
positive and you can stay happy. That's the way for it.
Right. This MOCT concept, I think people are listening now and they'll be wondering what is this word is all about. This is a Slovakian word for most.
Okay.
It's called the most, right? You can just check
Okay.
in Google, and
Hmm.
this is the proof of the newspaper that I did.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, this is a newspaper that I read because I got sick and tired of looking at newspapers because it's the headlines makes me devastated. Either it's a killing or something to do with politics. So I thought, no, I'm going to talk to the future. So on my own, I developed a newspaper called MOCT, right?
Okay.
And this is all about, there's no politics involved, it's all about the future, what's going to happen in the future, the advices for you to stay positive. And well, corona strikes, and we won't circulating of newspapers had an issue. Then everyone said, "Hey, your newspaper thing is gone. Now we don't get it." I said, "Okay, I'll come online." So I quickly reframed. I'm using a word now. I reframed it and I said, "Look, we can talk through a paper. It's only once a month, and for a month, I can have four people coming in on air, talking to you with regards to all sorts of positive things, and make sure that you build your life." So here we are. MOCT. It's the Slovakian word for the meaning that gives can. So MOCT is the meaning of this in English is can. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to come live, and that's how MOCT live was born, right? So after this, please state your address because you're going to get that newspaper. And
Okay.
also, I'm going to give you the Asia's first philosophy for brands, which I wrote as a
Okay.
gift for
Thank
you,
you.
Dimitri.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
because future should meet future, and we should talk positive. We should talk positively about future because that's the only thing that we are leaving for our kids, right? And I'm going to ask you one more thing. See, sports. I'm coming to that. My favorite topic. When you start exercising, you go on and on and on, and there was no touch wood, huh? Touch wood, touch wood. Uh, there's no sense of tiredness. How do you keep on going like this?
I think because I have the background, kinda. So I have my own gym at home, like a mini gym. So I do sessions, but I actually got COVID, and then after that, I couldn't practice it.
Oh, okay.
Like I couldn't engage a lot. But before that, for a walk, even with the COVID, I walk around, and then I come to my gym and I then do workout. And because I am a person who can't stay without sports, because from grade 3 to 25 years now, I have been doing sports. So I can't stay without that. So
Oh, that's the
I
spirit. That's the spirit. Okay. Yeah. Please go on. Yeah.
that's how I think it's normally. We used to have practices every morning 5 a.m. and physical practices, and then school, and then again 3 to 6 we have practices again. So that's how I lived my life. So with that, after with the COVID, we having that background, it was very hard for me. I couldn't go on traveling, I couldn't go on hikes, no practices, everything is stopped. Like, so then I found a way. I just walked in my lane, and like, going with my side of the house, and then walking here and there, and then I'm coming to my place and doing some exercises with my sisters. So that's how I just got through the pandemic, because it was very stressful at the beginning. Everything stopped. Without sports I can't stay, as in, like, without exercises, no life, kind of, because that is my stress relief sort of a thing. So
Absolutely. That's what keeps you going. See, people that who are listening to MOCD live with me, she, someone can say, "Hey, look, she's addicted to it." Well, she is. She is. She's addicted to something good, not something that you and I hate most. But see, if you can get addicted to good things like reading books, not being, throwing yourself overboard, addicted to nature, addicted to sports, addicted to fitness, eventually, when you reach the age like 55 or 60, you don't feel that you are at 55 or 60, because you're biologically, right? You might be at 60, but physically you have a body of a man or a woman of age of 45. So you need to think, since you invest on your life in various methods like fixed deposits and insurance, but why not exercises? Why not keep yourself going and eat a lot of fruits, a lot of good things, fiber rich meals, so that you take care of yourself. If you love yourself, you can love the entire world, right?
exactly.
We have 3 minutes to go. Nimethri,
Yeah.
I don't want to shut this off. I mean, this is wonderful. Whoever who participated up to now, the vibe they give to this particular program is amazing. Um, Tell us about your family background.
Yeah, so I have two younger sisters, so, and my mother and father, so that's my family. And but if I talk about my family, I never had, uh, huge restrictions. They always let me do what I like to do. They never put, because I have seen my friends, even though they like to do something, they have a lot of restrictions, they can't do it. But I never had that. My dad and mother, they never, uh, put me into the room and said, no, you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that's why I got this chance to do almost all the sports at the school. I played
Okay.
handball. I played nationals also in handball. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm a basketball player, netball player, and I played badminton. Badminton is my main game, and I'm a javelin thrower. I went for Western Province as well. So likewise, I did a lot of sports, and almost all the societies I was there. In almost all the societies, I was the president of the debating club 1 year, and then I was the president of this designing club as well, and I was a part of the media unit as well, so an announcer. So that's how my life. So dad had to come and pick me every day evening. That was the problem for them. But other than that, they never push me.
Okay.
They never asked me to do, no, don't do this, don't do that. So that is my family.
Right.
That's what I got from my family, actually.
Okay. All right. Okay. Timothy, what's your advice for for the guys who are going to take the future?
My advice is live your life. Live your life, believe in yourself. Don't live the life for someone else. As in, like, you do what you want. Don't change anything, because if other people will think bad about you, or if they think something bad about you, don't change anything. If something makes you happy, do that, and keep believing yourself, and also have the discipline. Discipline is the main thing. It matters. And also enjoy what you're doing. So that's the
All right.
message
Okay.
that I have to give.
Right. Nimethri, I have one. There's something bothering me. You hear me clearly, right?
Yes, yes.
Right. Just check your mic whether it is muted.
No.
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hold on.
Are we
I
okay?
think it works.
Um,
Is it okay now?
yeah. Now it's okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
back on track. Okay. The last bit that you were talking about, I think
Yeah.
the connection got interrupted. Can you come back
All right.
again?
Yes. So what I said was, don't change anything just because someone else. If you love to do something, go and do it. If it makes you happy, go and do it. So because other people are like kind of think about other people and kind of restrict themselves. Don't do that. If you love
Okay.
something, go and do it. That's the
Okay.
advice. And also keep the discipline and enjoy what you're doing always.
Brilliant.
It will keep you going.
Brilliant. And how do you find this? How do you find? Just tell the world. Like you have mastered a lot of avenues. And it's like a kind of a 360-degree approach that you have taken to your life so far, right?
Yeah.
And you're into so much of things and keeps you going. It keeps you going all the time. Once if you can't, if you feel like, okay, today is not kind of a gym day for me, I'm kind of today is not the exercise day for me, then you can immediately switch. Okay, I'm going to admire nature. If it is raining, you still admire nature. And if you feel like, okay, today is not the time for me to have admiring the nature, then you can switch back to your banking work. So, how this particular gamut of things, if someone wants to do it, how he or she is going to start that? There's a
Yeah. So
question
it's
from a
like,
parent.
okay. So depends with what you like to do. So it's always, if what I do is, I love to do different stuff, and I go and do it.
Okay,
So
got it.
if, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, very simple. Parents and people who are watching this, if the kid wants to do something, wants to draw in a piece of paper, let her do it. And the next day, if she wants to go and play cricket, let's he or she do that. And why not? How it's developing you. It's that you need to cultivate inside them, right? So finally, one final word. What's your advice to the parents?
Yeah. So parents, it's always, don't go and advise kids. Don't don't take their life as your life. It's not your life, it's your kid's life. What you need to
Absolutely.
understand, they have a separate life. And also, if they are asking for your advice, what you do is, you are not telling do this, What you need to do is, okay, if you do this, these are the pros and cons. And if you do that, these are the pros and cons.
Absolutely.
But the decision is not yours. Decision is his. Let them do what they want. Let them
Absolutely.
do what they love to do.
Absolutely. And this seals, see, if you want to be Virat Kohli, long way to go, right?
Yeah,
First be you, right?
exactly.
You can have a role model. Nimethri knows that she's not going to be another Diana, but she's
Yeah,
Nimethri Gunasekara. First, that's what she's saying, people. First, be you. You can have a role model and you can take positives to your life and you can grow your life to the next level. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything what Diana did, but the learning is break the rule and be natural, right? And the rest falls in line. So first, be you for you to be another Virat Kohli, and if you want to be another Joe Root, or if you want to be, you know, the fastest man on earth, right? But first, you have to be you. You have to select who you are, right? Okay, Nimethri. Last but not the least, what's your opinion about this program?
Oh, this is an awesome program. The first time I'm joining for a live chat like this. So I actually
Thank
thank
you.
you for me to giving like this. So it's an awesome program. It's good. Like people can come and talk, and other people can get their ideas and talk about it. So it's actually a good program.
Thank you, Nimetri. The idea is this: no one will pick you up and ask you to speak about yourself, right? And this little piece that what you and I did just while ago will remain in YouTube forever, right? And anyone can pick it up and check what's the content, and the
Yeah,
content is beautiful. The content is absolutely beautiful and breathtaking, and people can get energy out of this. Loads of advices for parents, for adults, and even I learn from you. I'm very humble to say that because I learn every program I do. I learn something from you, right? And well, Nimitri, I know your friends are watching it, and you can freely tell them to come to my YouTube, and it's freely available in Facebook, it's freely available in LinkedIn, so you don't have an issue with that. So, time for us to go, and
yeah,
people, you can talk to her with regards to mental health, with regards to physical exercises, with regards to life changing advice. I mean, she's not that typical motivator. Please don't put her into that slot. She's not doing a business by coming to my show and saying, "Look, I'm here to consult for your issues." No, she's not doing that. But that's a passion that drives her to many avenues in life, where you can seriously get involved with her, and then you can take the best out of it. So she's available in Facebook. Nimethri, what's that special page in Facebook?
that's every mind matters. Or else you can directly talk to me via Nimethri Gunasekara page. So that is also okay. Yeah.
All right, so there you go. You have the answer now. See, this age doesn't matter, looks doesn't matter, as well as you get a perfect advice to streamline your thought line. Okay, that's what matters today. You need to get adjusted to the new normal that's been given in front of you. So, Nimethri, thanks a lot. I really admire this whole thing. I'm really honored to have you on studio, and also it's brilliant. I just
You.
spoke to the female version of mine, where jack of all trade. People call me master of none, but I know my two friends also watching this. So there you go. You have another character. There are people like this. They have mastered everything, and they keep going because they love each and every minute of their life. So Nimitri, thanks a lot.
Sure.
Thanks a million of coming for this show, and it was a wonderful interview. It was a wonderful show, right? And so we'll see you again, and we'll try to run a physical exercise or a mental health show very shortly. I'll have a chat with you soon. So people who are watching, there were questions coming in from parents to my chat, my WhatsApp, and I threw the most relevant ones. But most of the questions were answered during the initial part of the program. So it's time to say goodbye to our guest tonight, Nimethri
Yes.
Gunasekara.
Thank you
Nimethri,
so much for having me, and have a good night then.
you're right. You're welcome, and you stay safe and have a pleasant night.
All right. Okay.
Right, that's Nimethri Gunasekara, who just left the studio, and we will be coming to you live with another program. It's kind of, how can I say, it's kind of very unusual time, but everything that you think is difficult is going to come to an end. Very soon, the country will be open, the world will be back on track. Respect the nature, respect people, and you can. Always say that you can. You can do it. So don't give up. Stay alive and make sure that you spread the good news. Don't hate. People can make mistakes. Forgive and forget. Delete all the bad files in your memory and move with the good files that's stored forever. Don't think that the death is around the corner and you have to be extra vigilant about it. But if you stay positive, forgive and forget, I think the world will become a better place.